Wednesday, guys.
Happy Wednesday.
Hello. Happy Wednesday, companions.
Yes, what's happening?
So welcome to Are You Well Wednesday, another one in the books, huh? We're halfway
Indeed.
through this week, and very excited to talk about this week. We are into a new month.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing a new monthly challenge for CWC, which is stress reduction.
Yes.
Which is all kind of comes in play with managing back to school stress. Because as you all know, it could be very stressful for anything, for students, for parents, for staff, just all the way around, you know. So
is it really school time already?
I know, right? Like, where did
weird.
the summer go? I just can't even fathom this yet, but as soon as it hits 4th of July, it's like, okay, bye summer. It was nice to see you for a half a minute.
Yeah, well, time was already flying, and then you throw in the pandemic, and many people aren't working. They are working. They're working at home, and what time is it? What day is it? What's my name? Where am I right now? Am I?
Mine's over there in Cali. Like, guess what? It's always 5 o'clock over here somewhere.
sun is shining.
With the sun shining, but so guys, my name is Heidi. I am a health and wellness coach for CWC, and I am happy to introduce you. Actually, these ones don't need no introductory, but we'll go off. Whoever wants to start, if you want to start her off and just give a little something introductory.
Go ahead, my ladies before gents.
All right. Thank you. Happy Wednesday, my wellness companions. August is back to school for most kids. My husband went as a teacher, and today was his first day of students, so he went back this week. So it's the beginning of August is back to school for he teaches high school at Los Altos High School in the La Puente Hacienda School District in Southern California. So he's already back to work and school. He doesn't like it when I say you're back to school. He's like, no, back to work. Me. I go to work, the students go to school. Yes. And then my children going in third grade and kindergarten and third grade are going back to school August 18th. So we have about 2 weeks before school begins, and this is very timely because we need to do the back to school shopping and all the preparation, the uniforms, all the good stuff. So I'm looking forward to talking about back to school and how to manage the stress, because the stress is real.
Thank you so much for that, Mai. And yes, definitely looking forward to this conversation. Courtney, would you like to say hello to the CWC family out there?
Absolutely. Happy, wonderful Wednesday. It is a Wellness Wednesday, and we're just excited to be here. My name is Courtney. I'm the founder and CEO of Courtney Wellness Companion, and I am the first client of the Courtney Wellness Companion, and just honored to be able to be on the show, Are You Well Wednesday with Heidi, and a topic that we've are championing this month is stress reduction, as Heidi mentioned. And we do have a challenge attached to that. So just to raise awareness and just to educate and to engage people to understand the importance of reducing stress as that being a part of your wellness journey. So just excited to beat the drum and really just collaborate with some amazing wellness professionals like the ones on the call tonight, and also others that we're just meeting and engaging with on a daily basis, and just learning from other people and other ways to tackle wellness and to tackle stress as a whole. So looking forward to learning something new and maybe sharing a few things as well. So thanks, Heidi.
Awesome. Great, guys. And I want to start off here with stress in general. It has been stressful over this pandemic alone, let alone, okay, we're getting back to school. So, we are definitely in a time where, are we wearing masks? Are we not wearing masks? Everybody's kind of mixed feelings in there, and we're very stressed. So I'm going to go over some of that, and also to go over, let's get stuff going so it won't add to any more stress that we already have, right? So, because if we're stressed out, just know that our children are going to be stressed out. We're going to pass that down to them. And the most important thing is we want to do is set our children up for a very productive and successful year of school, right? I mean, if they start off, and in general, if you start off work, say you got a new job, or you're starting off a job and you start off from day one and you're stressed, I mean, that just snowballs. So what we want to do is just get our facts here, get this put out there, and have people be able to prepare themselves for the year. So the first thing I want to talk about is, of course, scheduling ourselves. We have just come out of a summer, right, where it's kind of some was working, some was not. The kids been off their schedule with bedtimes, with their routines. So it only makes sense to, number one, start out your schedule, your routine, at least 2 weeks before school starts. Okay, so you want to do, I always say, let's do a dry run. We're going to start bedtimes, because if you start the day before, a week before, kids are like, nah, this ain't working. You're looking at them, they're up, or, even yourself, not talking about kids. I'm talking about from preschool all the way up to college, from parents going back to school or back to work, as Mai said, her husband is back to work. So doing a dry run and starting that a couple weeks ahead of time to prepare yourself, for when day one, it's not foreign, it's getting back into routine is first and foremost to getting back there. How do you guys feel about that?
I agree, because summertime, you're off your routine, you're getting the late night, the bedtime routine, the morning routine, there it's all over the place. So getting the kids back to you got to go sleep at a certain time, you got to wake up at a certain time, because if you don't, you're going to be late for school and all that stuff. So it's very important. And I love that you said to do a dry run to practice.
Yes.
Like, we're going to practice for the real thing, and just getting the kids back into the routine, getting yourself back into the routine, because mornings are usually very hectic, and in the summer you have that relaxed time, you can wake up whenever and you don't have to rush out the house. But that's going to change in 2 weeks for us.
Right, Courtney, and it's also so important we talk about not only rest, let's talk about proper rest and proper nutrition. And we're a health and wellness, companion here. And it's so important that your children are eating correctly, and you're
Yes.
getting the adequate sleep. So when we talk about nutrition, okay, we find that when we are not scheduling ourselves, scheduling our healthy foods, then we tend to be off our thing. We go and grab the first thing that is usually not healthy. So we have a month here, or I'm sorry, Mai just went back there. So some of us are already started into it, but for a lot of us, we still got a couple weeks. So start meal prepping. The kids, like I said, the kids are going to learn from the parents, right? So let's show them how to properly prepare foods and make it fun on Sundays. Sunday fun day, worship day, whatever that you're doing. And some might be working, so you might want to pick a day that you're going to have these breakfasts, and it could be something like a special K-bar if you're that busy, but just preparing for that food. And if your kid is doing lunch, or if you are taking your lunch to work and going back, and Mike can maybe give couple little tips over here for meal prepping.
All right, way to put me on the spot, Miss.
Come on! You could do that one in your sleep. She threw
Yes.
you a softball the size of my head.
Yeah.
You could do that one in your sleep.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, then. Yes. Okay. Some meal prep. Yes. So we got to manage our stress because our time is going to be more condensed. So let's talk about you got to make the kids' meals, right? Unless the kids are eating at school. I don't know how that works. But actually, my kids' school, our district is actually offering free lunch for all the kids, free hot lunch or whatever for this year. But then
Oh,
again,
that's nice.
my kids are
Out in
picky. So.
California, that's a big deal. It's so
Yeah.
expensive out there. Give me a free lunch.
Yeah, right?
Free lunch.
Free lunch. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're eating at school, but my kids don't take the school lunch, so we still have to pack their lunch. Wah, wah.
Mom's
So-
making that.
But luckily, my husband does manage the lunch stuff for my kids, so he packs their lunch. The morning when he's getting ready for his work, he packs his lunch and then he packs their lunch. So it's ready on the counter. When we wake up, we just grab the lunch bag and go. If you are in charge of making lunch for your kids, pack it the night before and get them involved in making the sandwiches or what to put in for the snack. That way in the morning, you're not just like rushing and like, oh my God, what's for lunch? Let's just grab this chip and this thing and a soda. It's like that's not going to be that's not a good start to your morning, right?
Right.
And then for yourself, make sure you have the fresh veggies, the fresh fruit, the protein. If you make dinner, make a little bit extra so you can have that packed for your lunch tomorrow, the next day, or whatever. If you're going back to the office, because I know a lot of people are going back in after a year of working from home, and some of that could be stressful too. So you're managing yourself and you're managing your kids, getting out the house on time. Oh my God, those. So you gotta at the beginning, just wake up a little bit earlier than you normally do. Give yourself that cushion time so that, when crunch time, you're not like going crazy and like screaming at everybody because, it's like, get your mask ready, get your socks, get your shoes, like just lay out all the stuff. So,
right. Yes. Yeah. And that is awesome there. And also too, what's very nice is if you have a bin, it could be even a small little laundry bin. It looks like a little laundry thing with wheels, but we had one, and then we just put on the go snacks. So, but you compare, or you put in there healthy snacks. So worst case, if you're grabbing and you're just reaching for something, and your kids know that's the to-go bin. So snag something out of there, just because you ain't gonna have perfect days. We're not sitting there saying, God, after this conversation here, everybody should be ready to go in 180 days and you're gonna have perfect times. Nope, there's gonna be times that you're gonna be going to activities and the kid needs to grab a snack real quick or any of those. So just make it fun, like Mai said, involve your children. Or even, involve them so they can get excited about what they're going to eat and prepping it. Because we all know when we make it, there's a sense of pride that, hey, especially when they're little, they get that and they're like, hey, I made that. So definitely with the meals, that's one of the issues. So we talked about rest. We talk about proper nutrition. And let's talk about schedules. Right from the start, I think it's very important to put down almost like what is your goals for this year? If this is your first time and your kids are going to school the first time, or if you have children that's already been, or college students, whatever the case may be, look at what you did last year. Like, what would you change? What would I change? What struggles did I go through last year? And write those down. So, okay, we have this component. So what is a solution for those problems that we had last year? Whether if we were running late all the time, okay, so we know that we are going to have to wake up a little earlier, right? Mm-hmm. if you notice last year, you extended yourself too much and the children because they're stressed, then limit your activities also. Talk to your children, talk to them, even yourself too, whatever you're involved in. Let's talk to them. What do you really like? Do you like soccer versus baseball, or do which one? Let's sit there and talk about this, because the next component of stress is your financials go up when school starts. Some might be paying for lunch, some of your bills, some are paying for school clothes, shoes, activities. So your financial components are also going to go up, which could be stressful for a lot of people out there that may be struggling, So here's a factor. What can we do to have less stress over finances also in this school year? So, guys, do you have anything that you want to add to that one? Courtney, you look like your wheels are turning.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know the one thing that I was thinking about wasn't more or less finances, but it was more of the scheduling piece. Just for me personally, with my wife starting a new job, I'll be starting a new job next week. My daughter started a new job last week, and she's going to be going into college. That scheduling thing was something that really resonates strong with our family, because there's so many moving parts. And then Issa, she goes to her school, so like all four of us are kind of going in different directions, different times, and it's a massive change just from like just 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Courtney was working somewhere else. My wife was not working. I was not working. I mean, we were working building this business, but as far as like a 9 to 5 type of a thing, that wasn't happening. But yeah, so that scheduling thing is very important. And when you said that, Heidi, I thought about calendars. So like families can make sure that you have a shared calendar, and just make sure you're communicating with your significant others on what they're doing and how things can get executed. Otherwise, that could end up being a real mess when you look at the schedules and things like that. So
Yeah, you almost have to sit down as a family unit and have a meeting. Again, this is communication skills, and what's wonderful about this, because it segues into so many different things for health and wellness. And let's talk about communication for back to school. You're communicating to each other, scheduling, and I think it's such an important factor too. Number one, to find out what your kids are thinking. Where are they at? Like we talk, like I said, we talk about rest, we talk about nutrition and stuff. A lot of times we kind of skip over the mental factor about it.
yeah.
Some kids have very high anxiety, or adults, of maybe going to a new college, maybe going into school for the first time, or some kids just get sick after every year and get nervous going back.
Change,
Yes.
just change.
So, yeah, speaking to the kids, finding out, how are you feeling right now? Like, what can we do to make this year a wonderful year? And a couple things I just want to go over is, a lot of people, and I know myself in general, we don't so much run into that on the West Coast, but on the East Coast, you have a lot of weather changing. Me, myself, it's almost like I get that seasonal disorder, because I love sunshine. I love my summers. So one thing that I just want to put out there to people, write it down, something that you absolutely love and look forward to the fall. It could be decorating. It could be football games, Friday night lights, something that is going to spark you, that is going to, be easier to transition from summer over to fall. Because a lot of times people, they don't, a lot of people don't care for fall because they know winter's around the corner and we're stuck inside, right? So that's a factor in. And again, finding that cup half full rather than half empty.
Hey Heidi, Pat, she mentioned down there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but she says for college students,
Yes.
if they think they are uncomfortable with their class schedules, if they can, they need to make changes early. Waiting only builds stress. So
Yes.
once again, the schedules, not only your schedules with your significant others and everybody's schedule, work schedule, school schedule, but the schedule within the schedule. Like if you have like a class schedule for your kids that, the students, making sure that they have the classes that they need, and that they feel comfortable and that they understand everything where they're supposed to go and how that's going to, you know, be where it needs to be. So
Yes, and Pat, I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because that is last year. My daughter went to school. We was talking about classes, different scheduling, and anybody knows when they got a college student there, there's so much more, that they need to know. So again, sitting down with them and having as a family unit and communicating, the scheduling, the communication, the goals, what they're looking to accomplish this year, or what questions they do have, as far as classes, because that's a big one, especially going to college. So
Yeah, can
let's
I
see.
just add real quick
Yeah.
about the going back to the calendar, the share calendar, how you guys were talking about creating a share calendar with important events. And I think this is extremely crucial to manage the stress, because there are so many different variables and factors involved. I know that myself and my husband, we put our activities in our shared Google calendar, and Google makes it so easy to do that. And I have, my business stuff, my Courtney Wellness Companion stuff, and my all of my obligations. So I put it on there as a reminder to myself, but as a something for my husband to know that, at this time I'm doing this or whatever. And then my son has all of these speech therapy and OT and different times. So there's a lot of things to manage, and you can alleviate the stress by having it written down, so that you don't have to be like, oh shoot, I forgot whatever appointment it's happening. So as soon as you know what's happening, just write it in your calendar, and you can always adjust it and edit it. But like once you have it, set up the reminder so it goes off on your phone or whatever, that you have something going on. Especially, like Courtney, all 4 members of the family is going back to school or going back to work. It's a huge change for everybody, and it's going to take some getting used to. So be very clear and transparent with your communication and your schedule. That will help alleviate a lot of the stress.
And that's awesome. With that too, and we always had, which I love too, for visuals for children, is the dry erase boards, and they have them now too that they can stick up against the refrigerator with the magnets. Yes, and Patricia here, family meetings are so vital. Yes, Patricia, I 100% agree with that. Yeah, so getting the dry erase boards and using different colors. I know these simple things, actually kids, they love that. Oh, look, I'm going to write on blue or something, but they can visually see and go over to the board the night before or the week when you have it planned out and say, look, on Monday we have this, Tuesday we have this. So they see, like they're hearing, and mom's going to be here, dad might not. All those things that you want to be, and it's less stressful for you too when you look at it, because a lot of times when I'm on the run and you have the thing on the fridge, I'll look, people get in the refrigerator, right? All the time. So I'd be like, oh no, I had a meeting tomorrow, a PTA meeting or something. I forgot all about it, but it was visual. So also school calendars. I don't know about you guys, but our school always gave a calendar, and it had the football games on it. It had all this stuff from the elementary and the high school. So you look through it, and then you add those things that obviously are going to affect you onto your calendar. So it's great to give a look forward you know, into the school calendar also. Or we're going to be off on this day, or different things like that you can look. So
Yeah.
it is preparing. It's preparing for the school year, you know.
So for back to the calendar thing again, with Google, you just print out. We can print that out with all the important
Yes.
events as well, and then the kids can check off, or you can create a calendar for each kid, and then you paste it on the wall wherever each kid's. And for me, what is helpful is that for my kids, we establish a morning routine. First, you gotta get up and brush your teeth, get dressed, eat your breakfast. Those are like the three non-negotiable that you got to do before you can watch your TV or whatever. Like those are things that you just got to do. And because like it's very easy for them to just get up and then do their whatever they do, and like no, we're on a schedule and these are the three things you must do. And it looks different for each family, but like get them used to that and get them to build the habits. Because like my son, I've been doing this with him for the last 2 years, and he usually asks me, "Oh, mom, can I watch TV or can I have my phone?" I'm like, well, did you do your morning routine? And he would say, no. So what's your morning routine? Brush your teeth, go potty, blah, 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 all that stuff. So he knows that is my expectation. And so that it just keeps them, if they can, something predictable that they can do.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's what it is. When the kids know what is expected, and that's the great word. What is expected? This is what I'm expecting of you. And it's okay for adults to say that too. Honey, this is what I'm expecting from you, because on Tuesday I'm going to be working late. I need you to pick up blah, 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 or I need you to get dinner ready, dinner schedules, any of that, piano lessons, this, that, all of that again has to sit down in a family meeting and having that conversation of, okay, this is how it's going to go. And one thing I love, we're talking here, and don't forget to put, Patricia says, don't forget to put vacations on the calendar. Yes, it gives us some positive to look forward to, and may help with motivation. Yes, Patricia. Woo woo. Yes, I'll just start the year. I would just start the year and be like, okay, what's the first vacation week? And I'm looking, and I'm just definitely one of those people who look for when is that vacation. So absolutely.
Yes, that's so important, especially when you're in October and there's like no, like after Labor Day, there's like no vacation or there's no holiday until like what, Thanksgiving or Veterans Day or something like that. It's a long stretch. So if you're hanging something out there that, like in 4 weeks, we get to go to this road trip or we get to do this thing. So that's a really important point. Thank you, Patricia, for sharing that.
Yes, absolutely. So another thing here that I'm going to talk, this is our monthly challenge of stress reduction, right? So how important is it to go over with ourselves, the be in the mirror, and with our children to say, listen, we're our expectations, there's no way that we're going to get out of this year with no stress at all. Okay, let's be realistic, right? So here's the thing, how do we deal with that stress? Let's talk about this and have these talks with your kids, with your spouse. What do we do? Like, what are some of the things we do if we're running late or something does not go right? What are some techniques we can do? We talked about it. Breathing, different breathing techniques, different stretches, or counting to 10, just closing your eyes, counting to 10, and giving yourself that, that break. Scheduling, which in that, scheduling at least a couple hours during the week for you and your family, or just you. Whatever is stress relief, scheduling yourself in though. If that means, guess what? We have an open day on Wednesday. Maybe we're going to have game night with the thing. And that is a stress reduction though too. That's, it brings you together. Maybe we're going to go out and have an ice cream or do something fun. We're going to go for a walk. So creating that family time, even if it's a couple hours a week, creating some time for you or your family that you look forward to every week, that look, I scheduled myself in, it's time for me, here comes that bubble bath with some wine or something. So
So Regina is in the comments. I don't know if you guys see her comments, but for some reason I can see
I do
them.
not.
Regina said their kids go back August the 24th. She says Happy Wellness Wednesday. She says I don't know how long ago she said this, but she said she thinks that's a great idea. That way they have a routine, so they will already be used to it. I think she was talking about the 2 week, getting things started
Prep.
2 weeks ahead, 2 week prep. She said get some sandwich bags and prep some snacks to keep at your child's level in the fridge. So those are some comments that she said. Thank you, Regina, for the engagement.
Awesome, Regina. Yes. And thank you so much for that input. Definitely love hearing your opinion on these things. And Miss Patricia said, yes, me time, heart. Absolutely.
I wanted to add about the scheduling the family time and scheduling yourself in for relaxation and for just because like we are scheduled to the max. We live by this schedule. We live by this thing, and it's so easy to not do stuff for ourselves for self-care because we're busy taking care of others. We're busy driving people around. We're busy. And then it's very natural to put ourselves last. It's like, oh, after I get done with this chore list, then I'm going to XYZ. But that you never get down to the list. And then tomorrow comes and you're still the last in the priority list. So exactly. Schedule your family time, schedule your own relaxation. And I love that you said, have a talk about how to deal with stress. Yes. What are some of the techniques? Create a game plan because it's going to happen. And when you're unprepared, you're going to be like, oh my God, what am I going to do? You freak out. You're like your stress hormones go up the roof and you don't think correct. You think very emotionally and like the rational part of your brain goes out. But like if you have a game plan, write it down, put it on the refrigerator. Like these are the things I can do if you're late or if things doesn't go wrong, right? Or who you forget to pick up the kids, like who can you call to help you if you're running, behind schedule and all that. Just like have all the contingency plan, have a backup plan and that will like, it sounds excessive, but it's going to save you if that happens. And then you're like, okay, I have a plan for that. Here we go.
Yes. And you do. I mean, how awesome, no matter what it is that you do in life, when you have a plan B, it's like, okay, you have a plan. When it becomes stressful is when you are just out there with not, and you're going, you know what I mean? Like, what do I do? And your mind's going, but when you say, okay, and we talked about habits many weeks back and forming these habits in you, in children, and even like I said, for adults that are going back for work, just getting, just having that routine for sure, is very, very vital. Let's see. Yeah. Set some expectations and make it clear, practice the routine. It's not going to be perfect, but it will be a habit. And believe me, whenever I taught preschool also in last year, or I'm sorry, the year before, because last year was COVID. And one thing that was crucial for preschool and then all the ones up is the routine. There was no problem when we did things at the same time. They knew the routine. They're talking about little preschoolers, 3 to 5 years old. They come in, they knew they was washing their hands. They knew that they was brushing their teeth after they ate, and they just did it, and it was less stress. But when we get somebody that was maybe new and didn't know the routine, you could see the stress level until they got comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Routines are so important, and you can practice the wrong habits or you can practice the right habits. So, the habits happen, and there are good habits and there are bad habits. So make it a point to practice the habit that's going to serve you and your family, because bad habits are very hard to break. So establish the new ones. It takes 21 days for a new habit to establish. So yeah, give yourself time and give your children, time to, because like you said, the preschool students, they know exactly what to do. And you do the same thing every day, and it's like, this is an expectation, and this is, exactly what you got to do, and they need that reinforcement, what to do, and it becomes more efficient the more you do it, and less stress.
Right. So now that we talked about that and routine, let's talk about some things that we can purchase or make. Sometimes people just make them, that, or organizers. Because do you ever hear somebody had the most organized things and they was the most unorganized person? But utilizing, like this here, I still remember I pulled this out, and this was a bin that the kids had their clothes in. There was Thursday, Friday. It went from Monday to Friday. And they had a bin, and they got their clothes ready for the week. And it was nice. So, I mean, how many times, especially little girls and stuff, how many times getting ready and picking out clothes was the most difficult thing in the morning. Where's my extra sock? I can't find my shoe. I wanted this shirt. Where's this shirt at? Or these pants? Something like that you can purchase. Purchase, or you don't even need something if you don't want to purchase anything, but you can create an effect like that has that, and that those are preparing. You're prepping for the week. Even if you did Monday through Wednesday, and then Wednesday you did laundry and did Wednesday through Friday, but all they do is they go in their little cubby, they grab their clothes, they put them on, and out the door that they're going.
Yes. So my kids are wearing uniforms, so there's nice. Stress out of what to wear, because they got their polos, they got their khaki shorts or pants or whatever. It's blue, it's khaki. Pick a color.
Yes. And sometimes before that, and that's a whole new thing there, but some parents, though, because a couple times we went through, should we have uniforms, they did a couple things, or should he not, and some parents they just was for it and some was not, and I was like, bring the uniforms, then that way I don't gonna spend for clothing, because it's about the education. If you're all sitting there dressed the same, then you're kind of but some people think that they're not expressing themselves. I say express when you get home. Express all you want. You're learning stuff right now.
You have a whole time to express yourself.
Right. So, but having those different organizers like that, or we used to have things that you hang on the wall that had organized in there where their book bags go, where their shoes go, where folders, always checking their folder, if mentally, for parents. Sometimes with the younger ones, you got to check off some papers, or they're going to be sending. So talk to the teachers too. I was very much in tune with what the teachers expected also when the kids were younger, and when the kids get older, you let them make sure they have communication with their instructors, that they know the expectations that they set forth. So if they're going to send something home, we're sending a letter home every Wednesday to go over what we're going to need or what we're going to do. then make sure that you're writing that down so you remember to check in the book bag and all of that. So those are the different things in there that are set for a good, like I said, productive and successful school year.
Yeah. So I just wanted to add, with the communication with the teacher, it's a lot easier now because you have emails to communicate, and a lot of stuff is posted on the school's website. So over here is my back to school shopping list for kindergarten. And then my daughter has a longer list for back to school shopping for third grade. And then, like emergency cards, like all those things, they're a pain in the butt, but like you have to turn that in the first day of school or whatever when you go to register or when you go turn in. So like give yourself a clipboard of all the kid stuff. And then, when you go to Walmart or Target or wherever you go back to school shopping, just have that list. Like, so I need some glue sticks, I need some hand sanitizer, like all the stuff, so that you do everything you need in one shopping trip instead of like getting bits and pieces because you forgot, oh my God, like I forgot the crayons or I forgot the Clorox wiper or whatever. Just like a little $1 clipboard and print out the stuff that you need. It's old fashioned, but you have it there. And then you get the kids involved, like this is what you need for back to school shopping, and prepare it.
Right. No, those little things like that, whether you want to put it on your computer or whether you're one that writes things down, however you want to do it, make it your own. But just like you said, have it organized and you feel better. I don't know about you, but we talked before about feeling better there and accomplished when we even make our beds in the morning. Like it just sets you up like, boom, I accomplished number 1, check. And have checklist for yourself. And those are things because we all want to feel accomplished. We want to feel whenever we do ourselves have a checklist, not only for things that we have to buy, but when we have a checklist for things that we have to do during the day and we check them off, you can go and you feel good about that. Patricia said here, great ideas, Mai Tai. Awesome. And let me see here if we're missing any. Nope. And so I can't, those are the only ones I could see there. But yeah, so different, like I said, different organizers. They're wonderful to invest in. I think it's very helpful. And even talking about hair products and all of that, like your routine, what do we do? The main things. Did you brush your teeth? Did you brush your hair? And you get older ones and makeup. So a lot for the time. And that's what I love about whenever you do those dry runs that you're preparing for, then you look and jot down, okay, it took me this long to do that. So I know I'm going to have to get up at 6 a.m. to, get things accomplished.
Well, for my daughter, she would roll out of bed and not brush her hair or anything like that. And then the last minute we leave her, oh, Mom, can you do my hair? It's like,
yeah, time's up.
And then you can't find the hair tie or the ribbons or whatever. It's like, oh, like you need to do this. This is part of your morning routine. Brush your hair, and then you can ask me to do your hair or do your own hair. Like, yeah, we have an issue with like all that little hair ties. It's like it just disappears. Like no matter how much you buy,
yeah.
We're happy with it. You ask them, they're like, I don't know. So yeah.
Yes, for sure. That's what. So like I said, all these things here very important, and getting rest. That has been, I think, such a hard thing, and I'm terrible for it because I know I'm up at 1, 2 in the morning with ideas, and we want to teach our children to to get to bed early. And what can we do? Like I said, we're talking about de-stressing, kind of, settling down and getting maybe a nice warm bath before they go, to sleep, or something reading a little bit before, making sure that they're going to bed, their mind's kind of at ease, and they're going to sleep good, and then wake up not to be stressed out. So, you know, so set those. And again, it takes a good couple weeks to get back in routines. That's why I say try to do it at least a couple weeks before, because if you do it the night or two before, it's just, you know, it's going to take everybody a little bit of time to adjust to those new schedules.
We learned that having a schedule is so important. And, you know, like kids get cranky because they're off their schedule. And like we think we're doing them a favor when, oh, you can stay up late as you want. But then the next morning they wake up like cranky as heck because they're tired. And this is like out of their normal schedule. So like my kids, we go to bed like at 9, or they're in bed by 9, asleep by 10. Even in the summertime. So their bodies just get tired at a time. And my son, like if I'm working and he's like, hey, Mom, it's bedtime. I was like, what is, it's only 9 o'clock. And he's like, I'm tired. Let's go to bed. So it's like you establish that routine and you stick to it. Like most of the time, the kids get used to it. And it just makes a better, well-run family, in my opinion.
Yes. And it does, and the less stress that you get from that, because it's stressful on a relationship. I mean, let's be honest, for spouses and stuff too, the whole family, when you're running around and you're crazy, you know what I mean? Like you're arguing, hi, sweetie. Little
Say
sweetheart.
Hello. Say, we went to the park today.
I went to the park today.
You did? Awesome. Yeah. Did you have fun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Say yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think she's a little tired.
Is she all ready for school?
Oh yeah,
she's been, huh?
In school.
She's been going.
Been in school. My saw me yawning earlier, and you can see she looks a little tired too. We were both out here moving around at the park, going for a walk.
Guys, you guys are gonna have a good nap on the plane tonight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we should be good. So have a great show.
Have a great show.
Thank you, sweetie.
All right, sorry.
You take care of Daddy. Get him some rest.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, how precious.
So if you're watching right now or you're catching the replay, please share some of your favorite back to school tips or hacks or whatever, because we can all use some tips that work. And you know, it's different for everybody, but like the more ideas we can get, the better. So please share. I think she froze. Comments, like, or what did you try that worked, or what did you try that didn't work? And so like, yeah, please share. The power of our community is sharing our knowledge, and you know, more brains are better than one.
Yes. And and some people too, again, whether you're adult, I mean, we talked about talking to the children about stress. Don't, even adults out there, make sure to reach out to your companion, reach out to your friend, reach out to a therapist. If you're finding yourself stressful and it's hard to handle different situations and it's making life difficult and it's trickling down, it's okay. Just to let you know, listen, we all need somebody. We all need that talk. Like when we say it takes a village, even for us. So be sure, communicate with others. Again, don't set expectations so high for yourself that, realistic goals. Okay. And like I said, talk to your spouse, talk to your children. It was a big thing, even with kids. We talk to children, even in preschool, about their feelings, getting them in tune with their feelings. How are you feeling today? And let them know, happy, sad, all the different feelings that they have. And it's okay. And just teaching them, okay, if I'm mad, what am I going to do? Because there's no doubt we're going to all have different feelings. It's how we react to them and what we do. So very important. And again, like Mai said, if you got some hacks out there, some awesome school de-stressors, let us know what you've been doing. Yes. And Patricia says it's so important to get help when needed. Yes, absolutely, Patricia. Thank you very much for sharing that, because that is so true. That's what makes us successful. And yeah, so if you do, like I said, the little planners, set yourself a budget too of where you want to be. I know a lot of parents, they go, and when they're doing school shopping, they kind of go overboard, and their kids are like, listen, we're going to the mall. And I don't know about you guys, but yeah, you go to the mall and you got this much for shirts. Set yourself a budget so you're not going to be stressed out also when you get home and you realize, okay, I just spent this amount of dollars on school clothes. And again, be open with the expectations for your child. If you're going school shopping, then you let them know. And it's good to talk to them about finances too at an early age so they understand there are limitations also. And that's okay. Like, see with your eyes, I'd like everything too, but this is what we're going to go. This is what we're going to get, and stick to that, because even shopping alone can be very stressful for parents or adults out there,
Yeah, it can get overwhelming, and there's no rule saying that you have to buy everything in
Yes.
for the first week of school in one trip. I mean, if you have a budget, like you don't have to buy 10 new shirts all at once, but you can like spread it out, get a new shirt each month or something, or don't like manage their kids' expectations, and don't school shop and everything. Buy clothes every seasons. And Evita said that's how she taught her kids. Her daughter says she'll do the same. No reason to do what everybody else does. And another money saving is that go to the thrift shop, go to your Goodwill, go through your secondhand store. They have uniforms or pants or whatever. Most of the time, it's like in really good condition at a fraction of the price. My kids, the school sells secondhand polo shirts. They're brand new. It's like $13 for a polo shirt, but like buying used at a pretty good condition, sometimes even like new, it's like $2 or $3. I mean, like you can buy the same. You can buy 5 shirts for the price of a brand new polo. So just and then like reach out to your community of kids who are older. Like, hey, do you have clothes that you're not using? We're looking for some clothes if your kids have outgrown it. And that's a good way to help save the environment and save your pocketbook, because parents who have kids that have clothes that they don't can't fit into there, they're happy to give it to somebody else, because then they don't have to store it, and then you take it off their hands and your kids have clothes to wear. So save money, save stress, and help other people by taking their stuff.
And you know what, Mom? I'm glad you said that too, because we all are wanting a kinder and gentler world, right? So kids, this back to school, kids are in school with each other. This is where a majority of their time is spent during that time of year. So teach your kids, and when they're at home, teach them to be kind. Talk about finances so they understand, if you have a family or something that may not afford, that they are very mindful for the way they speak, the way they treat people, and let them know, because that starts at home. That kindness and, that all of that starts at home. So also to have a talk with them for back to school about how they can be kind and show that compassion.
Yes, yes. I just wanted to get back to the back to school shopping supplies. It's important to get these because it's for your kids. I know that if you can afford it, get an extra set for the kids who can't afford it or families who can't, because it comes out of, if the kids don't get it, the teacher has to buy it for your kids. And teachers, they don't get enough pay as it is, and so they have like what, 30 kids they have to keep an eye out for. So, you know, if you can, give them supplies of Kleenex and tissue paper and like pencils, things that you take for granted. The school have a very limited budget, so if you have crayons, you have markers, like all these things, they're for your kids. So, you know,
especially preschools, because a lot of them aren't getting the funding that, you know, that you have. So it's very important to do
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So, you know, I have lots of teacher friends, and I used to be a teacher too, and they spend a lot of money in their classroom. So if you can help them out, if you have the means to donate like a gift card or whatever, because it all goes back to your kids. So you want to make it a nicer, kinder place to help out your teacher who is very stressed, because, you know, they have their own family too. And a lot of them, this is the first time going back since the pandemic, and it's stressful all around. So let's just be mindful and help each other out as parents and as you know, fellow human beings.
Yeah. So if anything that we took from tonight's conversation is, one, communication, routines, you know, it all starts. And again, we are teaching the children how to act. We are teaching them the routines. They're learning everything they're doing. They're learning from us. The majority, you know, for the first umpteen years anyways, then they grow up and start doing whatever. But, you know, it's very important. So again, when you reduce your stress, you're reducing stress on your children. You're teaching them different ways to deal with upcoming years in their life. So I think it's very important. And again, if you know any hacks, I'd be happy with this week. I'm going to put that out there on the community group. So if you're thinking about any hacks or that, please put them down in there, because again, what worked for some, they you know, any of those might not work for the other. So the more we get, the more we can help people out there. So I want to thank you. It's 8:00 now. I want to thank you guys for being on here. I think it was a wonderful discussion. It makes you want to go out and get ready for back to school. Although my kid is going to be gone from school here, but it has been a pleasure, and I thank you guys for anybody who has been joining. And if you see this in a replay, make sure you put replay. And I thank you again for joining us on RUL Wednesday. I want you to be healthy, happy, and enjoy life, guys.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for
Thanks, everybody.
have a great Wednesday. Bye.
Yeah.
Happy back to school.